I'm Wayne Hartley, Manatee Specialist with Save the Manatee Club. We're here at beautiful Blue Springs State Park today in Orange City, Florida. It's a big first magnitude spring that comes up at a constant 73 degrees. It's insulated deep within the earth, so that water temperature is always the same. The volume of water is so great that during the third of a mile it flows to the river, it still maintains that 73 degree temperature, which makes it a wonderful winter home for the Florida manatee. The Florida manatee are all up and down this St. Johns River, but come winter, the river may get down as cold as 46 degrees. So when it reaches 68 degrees, the manatees are looking for a place to stay that's warm and is going to help them survive through the winter. Now when these river waters do get below 68 and the manatees start coming into Blue Spring, packing as many as 350 in at one time, they get to share that wonderful freshwater habitat with many other animals, and fish like bluegills, garfish, largemouth bass. Also get a few saltwater species wandering in here. There's some small tarpon and some mullet. They also have some of the other animals. Of course, you have turtles and snakes, but there's other animals as well. You have otters, deer come down to drink, and even bear. And it can be an interesting experience just walking up and down the spring run. And although you're looking for manatees, you're seeing many other species as well. And of course, along with all these other animals you might see at Blue Spring, you're very likely to see alligators as well. It's the only animal that comes into Blue Spring that's likely to be as big as a manatee, or at least as long as a manatee. Manatees generally tend to be a much rounder than any alligator that we see in here. People often ask if alligators are a threat to manatees, but in fact we don't have any recorded instance of an alligator behaving aggressively towards any adult manatee. We have had the opposite here at Blue Spring with manatees bothering alligators. We have one that we actually named Gator because he was chasing alligators around the run. One nice morning, came out on the dock, and right across from the dock, a palm tree's recently fallen. The manatees are fascinated with this. They chew on the fronds, they climb up on the palm log. Well, one day the alligator came along. Alligators like to get up in the sun on palm logs and fallen trees, and so it's resting there with its head and shoulders up on this log. And a juvenile manatee came up behind it and starts trying to play with the tail of this alligator. And the alligator moved the tail and the manatee would move around. Finally it worked its way right up that tail, down the animal's leg, and actually mouthed the alligator's foot, at which point the alligator had enough and he took off. He swam away. Like manatees, alligators use the freshwater springs for warmth, and the decreasing spring flows in Florida are a problem for both these species. But there are several things you can do to help protect manatees, alligators, and the myriad of creatures that depend on the habitat where they live. Please don't feed alligators. They can use their natural fear and learn to associate people with food. And a fed gator is a dead gator. Resist the urge to feed manatees or give them water. You can alter their natural feeding patterns and cause them to lose their fear of humans. Manatees could be harassed or fed items that are not a natural part of their diet. Manatees living in the wild are very skilled at finding natural sources of food and fresh water on their own. You can observe and photograph alligators and manatees from a distance. For their own protection, wild animals need to stay wild to survive. Use landscaping in your yard to conserve water and minimize the use of fertilizers and pesticides to protect Florida's springs and aquifer. And support leaders who are committed to springs protection work in Florida.